I'm just saying. So, I'm gonna have a little bit of my Dunkin'. We're live. Just gonna have a sip here of my Dunkin' iced coffee.
Zero sugar, Dr. Pepper.
Well, I don't have sugar in mine. I have monk fruit.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have sugar, Steve. I'm
okay.
down almost 300 pounds. So
That's a lot of weight.
that is a lot of weight. So, but I still carry around my gut, my arms and everything like so thin. I wear a 34 waist.
That's smaller than my pant size. I'm a 38.
Are you? Well, good for you. But my top is just because again, it's like my arms, my neck, my shoulder. It's all bones. As you guys have made fun of me about, I have no shoulders. So
It's not so much make fun of as it is just speak the truth.
it's fine. I'll be narrow.
Your room's looking good back there, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I got for the toy box, I got a bunch more CGC books to talk about.
Oh, I got
Some other-
two tapes for Tape Talk.
Oh, very nice. So,
Two.
well,
Count them, two.
let's start it off. Welcome to Geekz, episode 17. This is a Lil.
And this is Steve, keeping it green.
No Sean, because he had a terrible storm, and I guess he's sitting there without power and electricity and interweb access. Maybe he'll join us. Maybe he won't. We'll see if he can get his stuff up. But he is
Just for shits and giggles, I want to see if he's on Xbox.
That would be funny, wouldn't it?
Like, on Sniper Elite.
Oh,
right now.
there's no internet, but I'm playing my Xbox. But no, so I mean, there's two. I only really watched two things this week. 4 hours of Stranger Things on Friday, and then throughout the week I watched The Umbrella Academy.
All of it.
All of it.
Okay, I still haven't seen after episode 3 yet.
So I have to say, like, number 5 in Klaus, still fucking killing it. Like, the best characters. Like, if that show did not have them, in one of the episodes, I can't, because I watched it all. We spent there was 2 nights of work I had where I worked super late, and by the time I got home, it was too late to start watching it. But The Umbrella Academy, I really enjoyed this season. I did. I didn't think it was as strong as like season 1. I really started to even hate characters more so than I don't like Victor, but I never liked Vanya. I always thought Elliot Page. I just never liked the character. Like, it was such a whiny character. It's just like I always joke about like why I hated Luke Skywalker for so long in the original Star Wars trilogy. He was just a whiny character to me until Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a New Hope. Like, everyone loves A New Hope. It was never one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's way down there. Like, there's certain things about it I enjoy, like Vader and stuff like that. But like Luke Skywalker as a hero, I hate it. Like, everything around Luke Skywalker, great. Luke Skywalker, especially in A New Hope. What's up, Fernando? Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
How's it going, Fernando?
So, I can't remember every character's name now. I'm like drawing a blank on the rumor. It's my daughter's favorite character, and I could not stand her this season. Just she went from being a character I really enjoyed to a character I absolutely hated.
Luther?
Not Luther, the girl.
No, I know. I'm just asking you to move.
No, Luther by the end of the season really liked Luther. I think Luther, like, I know you said like he was playing a little dumber than normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of bounces back. I think he had his dumb moments, but I think it bounces back. What's the knives guy? Why am I drawing a blank at his name too?
Diego.
Diego kind of stayed flat. Like I thought he was okay. He was just a good secondary character. I hated Ben. Ben was just.
Oh, really?
But you're supposed to hate Ben. I mean, like that's the thing. If you're supposed to hate Ben, you hate Ben. I didn't.
What
hate
about
the
Pogo?
Sparrows. Pogo was in one episode.
So I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was a nothing episode with Pogo. I mean, it wasn't.
It was like the end shot of one of the trailers. It was like big deal, like Pogo's back and he's a tattoo artist.
But it's not, so it's got nothing to do with it. I don't want to give away like the end, but I'm telling you, man, like again, Klaus and Five steal this, and there's.
What about that girl who's running around with Five? Diego's girl.
She was okay. She actually, she was a big part of it. I mean, she was in almost every episode. I'm actually pretty sure she was in every episode. She was fine. I mean, again, like Diego, like like good secondary, third level character. And then Luther gets with one of the sparrows. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, but that happened in like the first.
Right, and then they have the whole thing throughout the whole season. So, but it was a good show. Again,
does it end on another mind fuck? Like fuck, what's gonna happen?
Yes, and then there's like a weird trailer like after or mid credit scene. That like I don't know what it's supposed to mean, and I don't think anybody else does either. So I don't want to give it away. But yeah, it does. It ends as like, what the hell? And then like now we're here again. Like it's so weird. But it's good. I really like it. And again, like I said, like I could watch a spinoff with just Klaus and Five, and like they have this one episode. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if it was in the first three where they're like on a road trip together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's where like all the cows like disappear when.
Yeah. I mean, like to me, like that was like one of the highlight episodes. Just the two of them together.
Episode 3. That was really good. That was a really good episode.
That was a great episode, and then again, like they continued on, and it was good. There's some good scenes.
I didn't know if Diego's kid was gonna be. I was just like, I don't know about this kid, man.
Just keep watching. Just keep watching. Yeah, that weird goop falling out of his ear. That one episode. But Umbrella Academy, I give it a hero. Like I think Sean gave it a hero last week. My oldest who saw it, I think we all enjoyed it because we all kind of binged it like in preparation to get the week over with, so we can get to Stranger Things. So I agree, Fernando. The Footloose scene was great. There was a lot of good music in this, and a lot of like. Just singing and dancing toward the end, and but it was fun. Like it worked, and like again, like I said, like I cannot speak highly of the character of Klaus any more than I did, especially this season. I think the second to last episode, like he had a great episode, and then even at the end, like, but like I said, I think there's a really good episode with Luther. A really good flashback with Luther on the moon. It was really good. It was really good. Kind of explaining why he was put on the moon. So.
Oh, good.
I mean,
I'm gonna finish it. I just haven't. Yeah. This week was all about. This week was a very busy week, so it was my daughter's birthday in the middle of the week and all the stuff. So it was a whole thing.
I get it. I get it. I had a busy work week. It was a nightmarish busy week for work, so I had a lot to do, but I got it over with. Like I had a lot of deadlines, so it was good, and then got to enjoy Stranger Things. And today did a lot of comic book hunting, found some another new comic shop, and then went back to a couple of the old ones. Found a good Mexican restaurant finally, like a good authentic Mexican restaurant, so I'm happy about that.
So what did you order then?
Chinese. Well, I actually ordered. Because like I said, I only eat proteins and stuff, but they had a burger but they put chorizo and avocado and guacamole and stuff on it. So like I have that without the bun.
So you found an awesome, authentic Mexican restaurant.
I can't eat. I can't eat burritos and tacos and stuff. Like I don't, it's not.
You get yourself like a carne asada plate with some beans.
Well, I was going to, but like I wanted something small, so like that's why I went with the burger, because like for me, like I was really curious. Like it needs to have like a really good chorizo and stuff.
See, that's my problem. Like I like the flavor of chorizo, but I haven't found a good chorizo, and like there's almost nothing worse than bad chorizo.
Oh,
if it's too greasy and it's just
greasy, fatty, like big chunks, it's nasty.
I can't. And I've had it too many times. It's like I'm scared of it now.
So good. So good.
Like I don't know how to cook it, man.
It wasn't too greasy. There was no fat bits in it. It was just like great flavor laid on top of a really good piece of a burger, patty that they made with some really good like the chivalo cheese and some avocado slices and stuff, and like some pico.
So what about the bun?
I don't eat a bun. I said
you have like lettuce or just like a big plate with just a beef patty and
just a big plate with a beef patty and tons of chorizo. I don't eat the bun. So Scott couldn't afford Sean again. No, Sean couldn't afford to pay his cable internet bill. Now I'm joking. No, he's having some major storms and is got no power, got no cable, so got no internet. He might join us. We'll see, but we didn't want to wait. We want to talk about Stranger Things, but
I think we're gonna have to wait to the end to talk about Stranger Things.
We will.
It just came out yesterday, so
I know.
I'll tell you this though, my daughter, when I got home from work on Thursday, she was asleep, and I was like, "Why is she asleep?" My wife said, "Well, she's taking a nap so that she can be up to finish that shit when it drops at midnight."
Which daughter, the oldest or the
middle daughter? She's in love.
You only have two daughters. Younger daughter.
The younger daughter. Anyways, she for her birthday she got a kitten, right? And her kitten, little boy kitten, named Eddie. So
it's not okay. Save it.
That was kind of that was already
spoiler there, Steve. We can't go there. Did you watch anything? Did you watch anything else?
I watched a couple of movies on Netflix.
Okay, what'd you watch?
I watched that Spiderhead with Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller and Julie Smollett and Sidekick. Just the Sidekick. I thought it was acted very well, but the movie had such a big idea, but it was such a small movie. And it just like they could have done a lot more with the premise that they came up with, and I know it's based on like a short story that was in like the New York Times or something. And then they turned it into this movie. But like Chris Hemsworth with an American accent, acting like this total bro, was like this crazy genius scientist, but he's just this big bro guy. It was just awesome. Miles Teller had a very tragic backstory that you keep unfolding more and more and more as the movie goes. And then Julie Smollett also, like when all her secrets are revealed, just like, damn. But
it's good. I mean,
strong acting like that, but like you have to see like basically they're prisoners in this test experiment building where they're testing the effects of different drugs, like drugs that'll make you horny or drugs that'll make you scared or drugs that'll make you compliant or drugs that'll make you tell the truth. And this is kind of that, in and out. And they have these little packs on their back that they administer drugs through. And it had like this really cool premise, but at the end of the day, when it was over, it was just like,
it just didn't pay off.
Yeah. Just didn't have the payoff that I was expecting. Like a lot of like very convenient plot things, just like,
I hate
so that. Convenient. Oh, it's so
it feels like
that happened now.
It feels like that's kind of what the Netflix movies have become, right? Like they have.
Remember when they first started dropping those movies, we were excited. They did that weird military one with the zombies or whatever that came out, like one of the first movies they dropped, years ago. Or maybe it was Ghosts. It was like Ghosts in military.
Yeah, but again, they're putting a lot of money into these now. I think the old Netflix, like there's two things there, Steve. The old Netflix only movies low expectations, lower budget. They were working hard. It's just like like when horror movies first come out. Like we love like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Like low budget. They're working hard to do what they're doing. Now the budgets are almost cinematic, and they're getting big names in it. And
this movie had lazy. Soundtrack looked amazing, top tier actors.
I'm curious on that Man from Toronto movie.
That's the second movie I watched.
Okay, all right. What did you think?
I loved Man from Toronto. I thought it was fantastic.
Okay. Good.
It was very funny.
I love Woody Harrelson, so I was.
Woody Harrelson was great. His character was fun. Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart. There's this big action scene at the end, and like this big fight sequence that happens, and the way that people are just tossing Kevin Hart around the building. You'll just see Woody Harrelson fighting, and just see fucking in the background Kevin Hart's like just flying through and crashing into something.
Poor Kevin Hart.
It's really good. It's got the little touching kind of message to it. Reminds you like those old buddy 90s comedies. Just easy going. I'd give it a hero. It was good. It was like I didn't have to think too much about it. It didn't beat me over the head with some message, whatever that message may be. It wasn't trying to do what it wasn't trying to do. It was just this straight up. Here's the movie. It's over, and it was a good time.
So let me ask you a question on that. Do you think you enjoy that better because it was kind of that fluff comedy? Like that's why it was more enjoyable for like the Netflix movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like would you have been satisfied going to the theater paying your $10 to go see this?
No.
Okay. See, and that to me is like my comparison for like the Netflix movies, the Amazon Prime movies, that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, because like I go back to the Chris Pratt movie that you guys love,
The Tomorrow War. I would have been happy paying my money for that in the theater.
Yeah. So that seemed like, it felt like a big budget action cinematic type movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that for free. Technically. I mean, we still pay like $100 now, $40 a year for Prime. But it's it's included, but then when we get like, and again, I haven't seen Spiderhead, but like I even go with the Zack Snyder zombie flick, and
I thought it was all right.
Yeah, it's just like I'm fine with them putting out these movies, but like I don't know, like I don't get that excited anymore for them. Like Hustle
Did you ever see that?
Hustle was a great movie. Hustle, the Adam Sandler Hustle.
You would have been happy paying for that at the theater.
But see, no. Because I don't think it's like a theatrical movie, but it was a fantastic movie. I think that's the thing. Like, and that's why I said The Man from Toronto. Like, it's a great fluff comedy. This like Hustle was a great fluff sports movie.
Well, I guess the convenience of it does kind of help with the rating in some way, because you don't got to carve out this part of your day. It doesn't cost you $40.
Yeah, because
or more depending on who's going with you.
Right, is Hustle my favorite basketball sports movie? No, but was it good? Yeah, it was great. It was great 2 hours. Adam Sandler did a great job with it, and I can move on with my day. It's like, hey, that's great. It's not like I went to go see like He Got Game. I loved He Got Game. I think it's like a fantastic movie, a definite movie to go see in the theaters. But I just think it's becoming. Yeah, Scott. Actually, thank you, Scott. You just took the words right out of my mouth. It's becoming quantity over quality right now.
Oh, they have to have all this shit come out so that you stay paying your monthly service, or you stay
and that's
on the
fine
thing or whatever.
You can do that, but you can do that by giving us some. You don't have to go like big giant.
I think they maybe they should just go. I mean, their track record with like smaller movies, like comedies, like your Hustle and Man from Toronto. They don't
even
cost
that one
a ton.
with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, like that wasn't a bad one. The Spy, not the Spy, whatever what the hell was that one called? The one where I can't remember the name. I don't want to say it's not Dinner Date because that's Tina Fey, and I don't know. They did a comedy recently, and I thought it was a decent comedy. But what I've seen in the theater, no. Like, that's the thing. Like, give me more of that stuff where it's like a good story, a good movie, and move on. Like, you don't have to give me these big action blockbusters. Save those for the theater.
Or put a little bit more budget into it and actually put it out in the theater.
Yeah, or thank you. Yes, Scott, Murder Mystery. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was, again, not that I'm like would have gone and seen it and like been in love with it, but I had fun with it. It was a good couple hours, whatever. Dude, I've seen the last episode of Ms. Marvel. I feel a little low budget, especially in Pakistan.
I did not catch up with.
I did watch it, but I didn't watch it. I didn't focus. I wanted to rewatch it before I talk about it, and I'm glad that Steve didn't. So then we could talk about it next week with the next.
I caught up with the one that I didn't see last week. But
I did
this week.
I did think that it was. I do think some of the problem with these is because Marvel is pulling themselves a little thin, right? They're trying to they have budgets and they got to fit these holes. And I think I heard the same thing with after Moon Knight came out. They were talking about like they have a finite budget to make this series. They got to hit these things. They want to get these actors in. There's issues. The Star Wars had the same issue. The Mandalorian had the same issue. It's why they developed that freaking dome. They're filming The Mandalorian basically in an IMAX theater. You know what I mean? And what they do is they send out drones to film all this footage and then they project it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a really cool concept, but like for everything else, like that's why they don't have to move, travel, build sets. It's like it helps cut costs, so they can focus on other places. Marvel hasn't done that yet because everything is so different. Mandalorian is just one continuous story.
On several different planets and several guys.
Well, right, but it's different character. I mean, it's just like there's a different thing. Like if they wanted to go do that, they would have to film like an entire Pakistan scene, like all these different things, and then boom. But Mandalorian, a lot of that stuff, even though they're different planets,
it's all CGI.
Things look similar too. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Not to say that we're comparing apples and oranges, but Marvel's also putting out movies. Star Wars isn't. So Star Wars is, Lucasfilm's budget is focused on Mando and that. So they could pay a little bit more because that's all they're spending their money on. Marvel's trying to juggle movies and these things. So I do think some of the stuff is missing on the quality we want. I really do. I like getting the stories, but I don't think we're getting the overall, as you said, CGI quality or special effects quality that we could be getting. I do love the actress who plays Ms. Marvel. I think she's perfect. I think she's doing a great job. And I think she might help make the Marvels a better movie, especially for people like Steve and Sean who don't like Brie Larson. It's not Brie Larson carrying the movie solo. She's going to have multiple characters in it that you can attach to, and it's going to be.
Yeah, but if she gives some fucking fluff and some attitude to old Kamala over there, I'm gonna hate her even more.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. The whole Pakistan scene, I just did not like it, but. Scott wants Marvel to give clear direction as to where we're headed, but see, that's the thing. Like everybody wants this clear direction, but we didn't have that clear direction. We had tidbits until we had the first Avengers movie. It took several movies until we got the first Avengers movie. We didn't know it was leading to Thanos and the Infinity Saga. Really?
We knew it was leading to Avengers with the first Iron Man. We knew that right off the top.
You were leading to Avengers.
Right, and then Loki's the bad guy in Avengers, which I always thought was kind of a letdown. I was like, that's the first. He's the bad guy from Thor. Like we should have him like an Avengers.
But he was actually the bad guy in Avengers. He's the first bad guy for the Avengers as well.
Anyways, but even then, you stay until the after credit scene of Avengers, and there's Thanos. So now you know, okay, well that's where we're moving to.
But got it at the end of at the end of that phase.
We're not at a lot of movies and
we're
not
at
shows.
The end of this phase yet. And Kevin Feige has said
It feels like this phase is taken forever.
Well, it's because of COVID. We've had a delay in the phase. It's all over the place right now. I agree, Scott. It is all over the phase. But Kevin Feige and D23 and Comic-Con's coming up, and he says it's all coming out. It's all coming out. But we didn't have a series to help tell these stories. I agree. It's got to be Secret Wars. Scott, I agree with you. But the thing is, it's different because, you know, when you have Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and the Hulk, and those iconic basic characters, like everybody knew who the Hulk was. Everybody knows who Captain America is. Even Iron Man, he might have been the least known of the Avengers until Downey took that role. So there's not a lot of explaining to do. But if you want to throw a movie in where you have Moon Knight and Ms. Marvel and all these other characters to start your phase 4, you gotta start telling their stories bigger and more of a scale, because they're not as well known. Like comic books back in the day sold millions of issues. Comic books now, if it breaks 100,000 readers, it's great. And these characters, grandma and grandpa don't know who they are. My mom, who loves comics and like the old stuff, my bedtime stories used to be Spider-Man comic books. That's what was read to me, like, Spider-Man, Captain America, all that kind of stuff. She doesn't know who Moon Knight is. She doesn't know any of this stuff that's happening right now. She-Hulk, she's interested in, because she remembers She-Hulk's comics. But I think that's the difference right now. We're dipping into two different eras of comics. They're going younger. We're getting Kate Bishops. We're getting Yelena. We're getting a lot of younger characters because they're trying to bring in the current gen readers, and then we still have the old guard to bring in. So I think, thank you, Scott. Scott says, good point. True. I think that's the problem. It is a juggling act, and I'm hoping that eventually Kevin Feige is going to set the stage, because that's the thing he's got to do. Set the stage. If he's telling us we're leading to Secret Wars, or if he's telling us we're leading into this, because he might not even tease Secret Wars yet. He might say we still got Kang to deal with, right? Like, so it might be something with Kang and the timeline and all that kind of stuff, and you might not have all these characters that are introducing deal with that. So, just like with Avengers, we got Loki, Ultron, then it came Thanos, or Civil War, then Thanos. It kind of all led up. There was a lot of stair stepping. So for them, they still have to introduce us to the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. And that brings in Doom, possibly Magneto, possibly Apocalypse. You've got all these big characters and big storyline, and then we know we have Kang. We know right now Kang might be the overarching villain, and if that is it, I don't know where we go. Do we go into a Secret War? Do we go into how they're doing the timeless kind of piece where we're dealing with time and space? Galactus. There's tons of ways to go, and I think it's going to take some time. And I don't know if they want to give it all away right off the bat.
Well, there's still a lot that they're going to be doing even before we get to any collective Secret Wars. You got what? You got fucking Black Panther 2 with Namor, probably.
Yeah, Namor. Oh, yeah. Namor. They already showed the Namor's villain. What the hell? I'm drawing a blank on his name now. Fantastic Four, I think 33 was his first issue. I was hunting for it today. I couldn't find it.
You don't even know the name of the character, just when he debuted in comics, so you can try to flip it, you bastard.
No, I did not do that. But yes, that means that you know me.
I do. That's why I made that. I
got to make that profit. I got to make that profit because I got to work my way up to get to Amazing Fantasy 15. That's it. That's everything. Atuma is the villain. So and Submariner is going to be in it. So it's going to be Atuma. They showed a picture of Atuma that was released. So we know Atuma is going to be in Black Panther 2. And if Atuma is in Black Panther 2, Namor is in Black Panther 2. So
you have all that coming out. You got to have they're going to be going Fantastic Fours somewhere on the horizon.
Right. And that's the thing. So
are we getting Doom, or are they not going Doom right away?
Well, if they go Secret Wars, we got to get Doom. That's it. Because then you're going to get God Emperor, Doom, Submariner. If they're introducing Silver Surfer at some point, which rumor is going to be the Christmas special for the Guardians of the Galaxy. They were introducing Adam Warlock. There's a lot here. And that's the thing. I get where people are like, where's the focus? But it's just like in comics. Like you have 100 different issues being released a month. You're not always going to get that crossover event right off the bat. It takes time.
Of course, and then you have the X-Men still lingering around in the shadows. Something's going to happen there.
And if they want to raise the stakes, you've got to start bringing in the X-Men. You got to put them in space. You got to bring in the Shi'ar Empire, Gladiator. You can go crazy with this. So I don't know. I do think it's leading to Secret Wars, but could I see Secret Wars being like, where we had the Infinity Saga, this being a different saga with 3 or 4 like levels of Avenger movies, and then Secret Wars, like where you bring in even more characters, maybe Secret Wars is 10 years down the way.
But by that time, all the people we want to have back. Well, I guess like Toby and Andrew came back even after all the years, but like. I want to see Chris Evans now. Like at least have him film their parts now.
No, Chris Evans. I don't think Chris Evans is coming back. And even if they did a Secret Wars, I don't think he's coming back. I actually don't think they're coming back.
Be a variant. Come on.
I think they might bring in somebody else. Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. Who's our fan casting for Wolverine? To be honest, like I heard the rumors that Taron Egerton has been in talks with Kevin Feige. I wouldn't mind that. I like him. I liked him in the first Kingsman.
Second was good.
He was fine in the second. The thing, the movie was just not great.
No, it was Julianne Moore who wasn't great.
Yeah, she was not great. I kind of want Wolverine just to be some unknown dude. I just don't. I don't want. You know why? Because I don't want to have. I don't want to have a perception.
I didn't know who Hugh Jackman was before he was Wolverine. So
well, it's true. And good call on that. Like I don't need him to be 5 feet tall and
no.
Just give me somebody good who can fit. But you got to put him in the suit. That's all.
To find an actor that doesn't want to be all face all the time. Like I want him in the fucking mask.
Well, but the thing is even it was funny because I was watching the '90s cartoon for a bit, and I'm like, there's a lot of episodes where Wolverine just walks around with the mask off, or he's in street clothes, where he's just like walking around.
Well, that's fine. But Captain America's running around in a suit without the cowl on. I'm fine with that, But at the same time, Captain America puts that fucking cowl on all the time too.
Exactly. At least give me 50-50. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
You can walk him around like like the Flash with it down like a little hoodie. Yeah, it's fine. But when shit comes to shit, I want him to fucking yank, and I want the horns and all that shit.
Steve, there's a lot of rumors going around too. I know we're kind of all over the place tonight because we want to end with Stranger Things, and we don't care. But there's a lot of rumors that Andrew Garfield has signed some kind of big deal. I don't know if it's true. A lot of rumors keep speculating that he signed a 3-picture deal. That
with
it's
who?
Be with Marvel. And the Marvel Sony split, like to do Marvel movies, I think to be a part of Secret Wars, to be a part of another like crossover Spider-Man event, Spider-Verse type move, live action, and then an Amazing Spider-Man 3. So I don't know if it's true. I keep seeing this. I keep reading this. I know we've talked about that we want it.
I've seen that. It's probably on like Giant Freaking Robot and crap like that, right? But
it's all garbage. I agree. But I think at that point, like I don't think Andrew Garfield is signing any 3-picture deal to do any of this stuff. I think it's going to be. I'll consider it once you give me a script, but there's no way it's going to be multiple pictures he's signing on for. He's too big of a name now. He can do whatever he wants. He's earned his money. He doesn't care. He's having fun. Same thing with like Tobey Maguire. Like, you think Tobey Maguire is just like, oh, I'm going to sign this long-term picture deal now? I think it's one of the reasons why Kevin Feige has changed his format. It might be another reason why we have a little chaos right now, right? Is there are no more Marvel heroes or actors on these like lengthy deals.
10, 12 picture deals.
They're not. It's just like, hey, we want you to come back and do this. Do you want to come back and do this? And it'll be a yes or no. Like Oscar Isaac might never come back. We might never see Moon Knight again.
I'm okay with that.
I doubt it, but I mean, that might happen. That might be the one shot.
Unless they got him bouncing off of other characters, then I don't care. I wasn't a big.
I know you weren't a big fan of it, so.
And that hurts because I love Moon Knight. God damn it.
Fernando wants to hear the soundtrack from the 90s shows. Fernando, you got it in Multiverse of Madness. They played it. You got
as soon as
you got a little bit of it. So, you got anything else we want to talk about before talk about some of my pickups?
I mean, I can look up news. We just talked about it a little bit, but there was a Super Sons trailer that Sean showed us this week, and I know he said that he hated the animation because it's like the CGI cell shading kind of looking thing. I tell you, right? No, the Super Sons, Batman and Robin.
That's what I said. The Batman and Robin, yeah.
Robin and Superboy teaming up and Starro and all that. I thought it looked really good.
Really?
I thought it looked great. I thought the animation looked cool. And then, but like a little, you got to remember too, like I am not the one that had the problem with the animation in What If. I actually complimented it a lot of the time.
I was going to say after the first episode, you really did. I don't know if it grew on you. Like, I don't know. Have you gone back and rewatched the first?
No. Well, the first episode for me, the problem was there was like some hue filter over it. Like it made it look fuzzy, like it was because it was from the 40s. Like it wanted to look like the Fleischer cartoons and stuff like that.
Superman cartoons.
Not a fan. It just didn't work for me. So, but that's just a stylistic choice, Yeah. But I thought the animation that looked good. I thought this looked good here. The only thing I didn't like was when Damian Wayne was like, all right, Justice Dweebs. And I was just like,
I think that's where I was like, okay, I can see why Sean hates this. I'm like
that's not Damian Wayne. That's not something he would ever say.
Agree. Like, I don't think they could ever get Robin right, Steve. I never see it anywhere 100% where I'm in on Robin. I don't think I've watched anything.
It's so crazy because there's so much lore. You just read the books. You can see what makes these guys tick. You can see how they really act.
For Young Justice season 1 is the only time I think I liked Robin.
I mean, I like Robin in that too, but that still wasn't necessarily how Dick Grayson acted. It's like, that was like more like how Jason Todd would be, but it all, it kind of all bounces.
I don't know why I don't know why you're still a DC fan, Steve. They just keep beating you up with your hero.
I have my own lore in my head and my own stories for these kids that I love, and
I've had Spider-Man redone in multiple cartoons and everything, and every time it's like, even if it's the only time I actually like cringed was the 2000 Neil Patrick Harris animated.
I knew you were going to say that, the MTV cartoon, the cell shading one.
And I didn't hate it.
I thought Spider-Man looked great in there.
Right. I think no. He looked great. I'm just saying, like, just the Peter Parker quippy. Like, I didn't care for it as much. I thought that it was okay, but they didn't really go deep with the villain lore, and it was a short series. I mean, but the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon is like one of my favorite things that I ever watched. And even the recent one, like I never hate it. And like that's the thing, but like I never feel that they're like doing it wrong. But every time I watch some of these things with Robin, I'm always like, it feels like you're doing it wrong. It feels like you're missing what makes Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Or what, even like with Damian, like I did not. I can't remember that movie we watched, where one of the animated movies with him in it, one of the recent ones. I just don't think that I cared for Damian. Like every time I've seen him on screen, I haven't been a fan. I just haven't.
Even like
leave some comments. Well, Fernando wants to know if we could digitally remove Ezra Miller from the Flash movie.
It doesn't sound like that's what they're planning on doing.
I don't think that's what they're planning on doing, but if things keep going south, I can see them doing it.
I mean, the character that they digitally removed in the Zack Snyder zombie movie only had like 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
the
like
Teen Titans Robin was amazing. Yeah. You know what though? I haven't watched. That was 2-3 seasons of that show, Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go.
Not Teen Titans Go. I'm talking about.
No, I'm not. But that's how the original song went too.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one. So, Scott says, "Am I crazy, or with the kid who plays number 5 in Umbrella Academy would be a good Damien?" I think he's getting too old. I think 3 or 4 years ago, it would have worked. I just think he's getting a little too old now. That's the problem. I think he's in his 20s. So
yeah, like too young. You mean you want to cast him back in season 1 of Umbrella Academy as
I think we talked about
Damien,
that.
Like perfect. But
you know what? I actually think he might. I mean, maybe he could play an older Dick before Dick becomes Nightwing, but then he would have to bulk up and get a bit bigger. But he has that moxie. I think that's the thing. I think he's got that screen presence that he can do it.
My pick is still Dylan O'Brien for Nightwing.
Dylan O'Brien for Nightwing?
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
He could be like he's funny and shit and goofy, kind of like in Love and Monsters, but then like go watch American Assassin. He can be a fucking uber badass too. So it's like
I can see that. I can see Dylan O'Brien playing Nightwing. I mean, yeah.
And then Red Hood for me would be the Red Ranger from the Power Rangers movie, Billy from Stranger Things. He'd be a great Jason Todd.
Yeah, I can see that too. But all these actors are starting to get they're starting to age themselves out. They've been around a while. Like this movie. We should have gotten this but
that's what. But if you're getting a Damien who's like, let's say 13 or 14, by that time,
yeah,
Dick and Jason would be old, and then you'd have
No, I agree.
Tim Drake would probably be like 19 or 20.
If we're jumping the age gap, if we're just starting out with the Nightwing, we're gonna start out with the Red Hood. We don't even go to origins. That's done in flashbacks.
It's just established. You can always do flashbacks. You can always flesh it out later.
Yeah, that could be done. I think that could be done.
I don't know who would play Tim Drake. No idea.
That's your guy.
I know. That's why I can't fan cast him.
Your guy. You're just. If they ruin Tim Drake for you, I mean, I don't know what you would do.
Well, they're trying in the comics.
Uh-huh.
But they're doing a lot of weird stuff in the books. They're disregarding lots of past stories and just this is the new stuff
updating now. But they do that all the time in books. They
I
just
know.
update. So all right. Any other news? Steve, that Midnight Suns video game.
I ain't playing that shit.
I
never.
So I thought this was supposed to be a game for the systems, for the PS5.
It is. Yeah.
But it's a turn-based RPG
card deck
building
game. Yeah.
How? Why?
That's hell. I don't know how you could be a fan of Marvel video games if they've only had one good one.
Well, they've had 2. Miles Morales was good too.
I never played.
And you know what?
Morales. And I want to play Miles Morales, but my fucking PlayStation died. And even before then, it never, ever went on sale. It was still $60 for a 4-hour game, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Still a good game. And Ultimate Alliance, I love Ultimate Alliance. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think Ultimate Alliance, yes, the first one especially. Even X-Men Legends was good on the GameCube. That was a fun game too. That was like the precursor to Ultimate Alliance with the X-Men.
They ruined me with X-Men games when Destiny came out. Remember that one?
Yeah,
it was like you could be your own, create your own fucking mutant and go on missions with the fucking X-Men. And I was like, this is great. And then they gave you like 3 templates to choose from.
That was bad.
I was like,
Did we see the Harley Quinn trailer for the animated show?
Yeah, I guess they may have released the trailer for
season?
season 3. I haven't seen it.
I have not seen it. I haven't watched the show yet. I haven't.
What? That's a good one.
I know. I want to. Just like
Kite Man's awesome. You still haven't seen Peacemaker, dude. God, what the fuck? What's happening?
A lot. A lot's happening in life.
You got through Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, because I
just as long.
Because I can watch it with the kids.
Umbrella Academy has some fucking adult shit, Alo. Don't you give me that business.
Yeah, but they don't have penises hanging out and stuff like that. I mean, they say a few swears. There's a little. They cut away at the sexy time.
There's no penises in Peacemaker.
Didn't he fight with dildos?
Well, maybe.
Okay, so don't lie to me, Steve. Don't lie to me.
Have you watched The Boys yet? Any of it?
Yeah, I told you. We talked about it. I didn't watch this last Friday's. I've caught up until I saw Hero Gasm. I didn't watch this episode.
This episode has a what the fuck moment right at the very end.
Another one?
Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one.
Wait, did I watch it? I did. Because Soldier Boy is the daddy.
Yes, sir.
Yes. They no, I watched it. I did watch it.
Not a lot happened in it. I mean, Soldier Boy did kind of wreck that dude's head with his shield.
Yeah, he went John Walker style. I felt you're right. This episode of maybe that's why I forgot, because like Stranger Things, you know what I mean? Like it was like
I had to give myself things. I couldn't watch like it last night or yesterday before Stranger Things. That was all it was yesterday. It was just Stranger Things. So
no, it was an okay episode. It was a filler episode to get to where we're getting to in the finale, because now it's. I mean, I could see it going two ways. I could see it at the end, them teaming up, and then it's a big WTF moment, right? Like it's like,
well, how do you fight that?
How do you stop them? Yeah, it's gonna be like the Vader Luke thing. Join me, my son, kind of thing. Or is it gonna be?
I don't think Soldier Boy has it in him to give a shit.
I
think he's gonna. I think that he's gonna take the, or maybe it's not true, and he's just using this as an angle because he knows Homelander is just like this scared little boy, and he's gonna take it to get close to get the kill shot. I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways.
I don't know. It's interesting. Favorite X-Men game, Marvel versus Capcom. Have you played Street Fighter versus X-Men? That's a good one too. Those are fighting games.
Have you played Wolverine Origins, the video game?
I have not. No,
now
Fernando,
that game was fucking awesome.
Was it good?
It was so good.
Better than the movies. The video game is better than the movie.
The video game was amazing, dude. You had like Project X shit running around in the snow with the helmet on, and you had like combos. You were literally just.
I did play that because that was in the GameCube. I played that on the GameCube. I believe I
played it on an original Xbox.
Yeah, I think I have. I think I played that. So
the game was amazing.
Of course not, Fernando. Of course I haven't. All right, so you got some tapes?
Yeah, I'll just get through my tapes real quick. Just two, but we were out and about today. We're in this little mountain town called McCallamy Hill. Nice little park. It's very quaint.
Like little South Park kids.
Yeah, kind of. And like there was a library, and on the front of the library, like you walked up, and there was this like VHS tapes for $1. And so I'm like, oh, well, let's see what they got. Library's closed. I'm like, son of a bitch. But you look on the porch. There's a whole stack of tapes just sitting right, nobody there. So like, I picked 2 tapes and I put $2 in the little book return slot. I feel like I'm all right. I mean, I didn't check out with anybody, but like nobody stopped me.
Yeah, I mean, if they left them outside unguarded,
yeah,
maybe they were free. Steve, and you were paid.
No, there was prices on it, but I did get
Okay.
With Hoffman, Sharon Stone, Jackson. I think Queen Latifah's in this. It's the
shit movie, but okay. I hated that movie.
I didn't mind it. Like, calling it shit. It's crazy.
Shit.
But this one I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, well, I kind of have to get that, right? Like, it's the Michael Jackson greatest video hits of history.
Oh shit. The history. Oh shit.
It's got It's got 10 music videos on the back. They actually call them short films.
Which
Jackson
videos?
Short films.
Which videos?
So they got Billie Jean, The Way You Make Me Feel, Black or White, Rock With You, Bad, Thriller, Beat It, Remember the Time, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and Heal the World.
Love it.
All on this one convenient little tape that's already pre-rewound. Great cover, great condition. Like
we talk about me looking
the
for
back.
profit.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very, very, very cool. So I'm kind of excited about this one.
So we just passed Michael Jackson's anniversary of his passing last week. And me, Profit Pockets, even though I love Michael Jackson. Love him. I don't care.
Profit Pockets.
That was my nickname at when I was at Liberty Mutual in the early days. I used to love selling shit. Buy and sell everything. I had the VHS tape of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and I used to love. I used to play the shit out of that movie. Day after he died, I posted that shit on eBay. Made $120 for a VHS tape.
Damn, you don't love that man.
I made that money.
That's harsh. What are
you gonna do? I mean, it was $120 for a VHS.
Sit on it till the fucking 5-year anniversary or something. It's gonna be worth even more.
Yeah. I don't think it was. I think I got it at the peak. So, but
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go back because they had Final Destination out there, and I don't think.
Wait, you didn't get Final Destination? What?
Hold on,
Steve. You pick up horror no matter what. I don't even care if you already have a copy of it. You pick up the horror.
I don't have Final Destination, and I didn't grab it.
I can't believe you did that. I am disappointed in you.
I don't care. I only had 2 singles. Nobody was there to make change.
I'm disappointed in you. But
yeah. It ain't gonna be gone. I'll go back and get it. Take 4 quarters, toss them back in the slot.
Money bags, a little. No, not money bags. It's Profit Pockets. I'm just always trying to make a profit on something. Steve's already called me out for trying to hunt down Fantastic Four number 33. So, it is the case, and that's what I do. So, speaking of Profit Pockets, I did pick up some comics.
All right.
So I picked up this comic for only $3, and it's actually like a $15-$20 book. And it's a Marvel Team Up number 117, Spider-Man and the Wolverine. It's nice, and it's a newsstand edition. So,
brown and orange suit, very nice.
I picked up another.
That brings up a question for Wolverine's first appearance on screen.
Yellow
and black. You don't want the brown and orange.
Brown and orange, you can do it when you do a spinoff. You gotta give me the yellow with the team.
But you want to go first appearance Wolverine, yellow and blue with the little whiskers, or do you just want 90s X-Men?
You give me 90s X-Men.
You are. Yeah, you're not entertaining any other offers.
No,
that's your final answer.
That's it. 90s X-Men. So I picked this book up because this book is skyrocketing because Spider-Man 129, I think 132. A lot of the early Punisher books have kind of outpriced themselves, and this is the Punisher number 1, his first solo series, and it's a beautiful copy. Yeah, no spine ticks, anything. Really good copy. This book is now starting to go up into the $1,500 category. I got it for $20 today, so I was really happy with that. My big profit pocket book, I picked up Invincible Iron Man number 9. It's a second printing though. It is the first Riri Williams. So first Riri. I'm gonna send this to CGC, but it's the second printing, but it's her first cover appearance because she's in this little cover bubble right there, as you can see right there.
Mm-hmm.
So the book is right now raw, probably like a $80 to $100 book the way it is.
But after Ironheart comes out,
yeah, and I got it for half that. So probably that's one that's gonna be flipped to get better books. Also, I picked up the Inhumans number 1, which was a big this yellow cover. It's an early book. It wasn't anything special. It's probably like a 8 or 9 it's definitely not a 9.8, but it was, cheap, so picked it up. And
you gonna get that graded?
I don't know. Like I might get it.
Doesn't have the barcode on the front, so.
Yeah, but I think at this book, because it was one of those 25-cent books during a time when I think the books were a little cheaper, so I think it was like a bigger size. I'm not sure. So we'll see about that one. This one I picked up for real cheap. It's not in great shape. It's probably like a 3 or 4, but it's a 12-cent book, and it's a DC book.
I'm shocked. You don't care. So you only got this to sell it.
I did, but it is Justice League number 28, and it's like in mint. It's like a $600 book, but it's a decent shape. Nice cover art. The Justice League are picketing because Superman lift the ban on Superman. The JLA demands the right to work. It's like all these weird. It's a weird comic. It's a weird cover, but I got it. I'm sorry about the lighting. I gotta fix that here, but 12 centers. I'm gonna pick them up. If I see it for under $10, I'm picking it up, and that's what I got it for. So under $10. And then I also picked up for me personal. It's not a high grade copy, but I got it for a good price just to hang on my wall. It's one of my favorite Avengers covers, and it's Avengers 223. It's the Hawkeye Ant-Man cover, 7.0 in the newer slab. So
that's a good classic cover.
Yeah, and it's just going on the shelf. It's this one. I mean,
it's the Avengers logo with the Hawkeye colors over the.
Yeah,
is that red or is it? No, that's red. It's not.
Purple. That's red.
It looked purple from here.
Yeah, no, it's red. But I just love this cover. So
it's very nice.
Scott wants Wolverine's intro to be a Hulk fight. It might happen. So,
God, could you imagine a movie opens up and it's just Bruce Banner walking around in the fucking Canadian wilderness and you just hear someone yell in the background?
Getting attacked by fucking Wolverine.
Oh my God.
People would go crazy. So then I also bought. So a month and a half ago, I bought a CGC mystery box, and I was gonna do a live unboxing earlier today. My computer was acting up. Like I was waiting like an hour and a half. I was pissed out of my mind. So I just opened the box. I was like, I'm not waiting for my computer. I'm getting a new computer. I'm hoping this week. Gonna go computer shopping either tomorrow or Monday since it's the 4th. Hoping it. I just need a new Mac. It's just what it is. But I did buy another $150 CGC. They call it a like a spec box. It's comics that you can spec on. You might make a profit on. Some you'll get some good ones, but they also had like a limited of 70 boxes were going to be sold with 3 grand prizes. One was the first appearance of the Punisher and the War Machine armor. So you got the Punisher with that's like a $500 book, CGC 9.8. First appearance, Ultimate Fallout 4. First appearance, Miles Morales. Second print in a 9.8. And then Amazing Spider-Man number 300 in a 9.0. And that's why I wanted it. Like, that's why I did it, was hoping, 1 in a 70 chance to get that book. I'll take a shot. Because I knew, like, last time I got, like, $250 worth of comics with 2 CGCs, with the Iron Fist 1 and the Hellcat 1. So this time I got 3 books, 3 CGCs. And I got one that I'm actually intrigued by, and it was the first one I just showed. Dead Day number 1. It is by Aftershock Studios, and it came out in May of 2020. And it's a zombie book. But why this is intriguing for me to flip is because Peacock picked this option to do a show.
Another zombie show.
Another zombie show. So
fucking hell.
It's not worth much. I think it's like a $60-$70 book in slab 9.8. So hoping Peacock picks it up, starts pushing some of these comics, and I can flip this for a couple $100. Because I really didn't even collect Walking Dead and stuff like that, even though I love zombies. It just gets too daunting. I want to go into the horror comic route, but I want to go into the old school stuff. So I want to get like the old like DC like chiller books and stuff like that. Like that's what I think would be cool. Even if I had them in low grade, I'd get them CG and hanging on the wall.
Werewolf by Night. You don't want any like that'd be kind
I
of cool.
do. I've been looking for those.
Comic.
Those have gone up in price. Werewolf by Night #1, which is not even his first appearance, is a $1,000 book right now, raw. So, yeah, I would love to get Werewolf. I was looking for him too. I'm actually hunting right now. Man Thing. That's who I want to get because right now, under the radar, he had a stupid sci-fi movie that came out in the early 2000s. But I think Man Thing, especially if they're going to come up with Werewolf by Night, like if they're doing the Halloween special, if they're
you think maybe they're going to take another horror character every year and do a special on it?
Either a special, or could you imagine Man Thing teaming up with Blade and all these guys in a version of a Midnight Suns movie series that goes with the dark characters, Ghost Rider, Blade. Black Knight might be a part of that. If Werewolf by Night. So you've got 4 characters right there. Why not throw in Man Thing?
God, that sci-fi movie was something else.
It was awful. But...
those were the dark days, a little, where the Marvel logo didn't really mean much in front of a movie. Like
it did not.
I mean, I thought it meant something in front of Blade when I was like, "Oh, this is a comic book movie. Like, this is crazy."
Yeah,
the first Blade was amazing,
but like it didn't always mean quality because it wasn't Marvel doing it. It was just like, hey, we're doing it off this property. Here you go, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Awful. Oof. So I also got all new X-Men #1. It is the hip hop variant cover. The Camp Lo Saturday Night. I have a raw copy of this. This is not that big of a book. It's not that big a deal. So it's fine. It's just got the all new Marvel Now X-Men class with X-23 and Cyclops and stuff dancing.
You need to flip that one.
This one is gonna be flipped. Yeah, I'm gonna probably take. I'm going to take like a stack of CGC books to like the next local con, and just see if I can flip them into a better book.
Just say, take these and give me that.
Yeah, because I'm sure they'll be able to sell these. This one I'm intrigued by. This is another one that's spec just because I think he's a popular enough character. A lot of times when they get these #1s, I think it does a good thing. And this is Black Bolt #1 from 2017. This also has the first appearance of Rava and Blinky. But I like the cover. It's a variant cover as well. It's a variant Black Bolt cover. So this one's not bad. And I think this one is one I would keep for a while here, hoping, if they do more with the Inhumans and Black Bolt. It's one of the reasons why I picked up Inhumans #1. I mean, I'm not going to get the first appearance of Inhumans and Fantastic Four anytime soon, because that's
I don't know if they will with the movies though, because like he was dealt with so easily. It's gonna be like, fuck him, just get Scarlet Witch over here, she'll handle him.
Yeah, but eventually Scarlet Witch probably won't be the bad guy. Who knows? But Larry said I have the Black Album Black Panther variant and the ATCQ Spider-Man somewhere. Yep, I have both those as well. I love those. I have a lot of the hip hop variant prints all over the place. But I mean, like I look at that and like, did I get my money back? Yes. Did I get a little bit more? Probably. Do these books, at least 2 out of 3, have potential? Like I still think Black Bolt's got some potential. If not, I still like that cover, and it would be a good wall book just to have up there. I'm flipping that X-Men book, so if I get $75 for that X-Men book, great. And then if that other zombie book, the show is coming out and I can get $200 for it, then I've made my money and I can move on. Then the Black Bolt book's free, and I just go from there. So, and that's kind of what I'm looking at with some of those stuff. I'm not looking to make a killer ton of money. He had 3 books there that like I would have loved to have in my collection, and if I got those, great. If not, I'm going to look to flip into bigger books, or better quality books.
Can I trade up to get that Amazing Fantasy, huh?
I'm going to work toward it. I mean, I don't even know if I'll ever get it. I mean, it's like a 1.0 is like $15,000. So like, I mean, that's crazy, right? Like it's crazy. So, who knows? maybe I'll have to work my, get just Amazing Spider-Man #1 and go from there. But yeah, so that's what I got this week. Plus, I picked up a bunch of like new books from like this week, like multiple like variant covers for Amazing Spider-Man #1, the new Amazing Spider-Man #1. I do like this cover, so I just wanted to show this one. This is one of the variant editions, but it's got Black Cat and Mary Jane kind of splitting the art cover. So, but yeah, big stack of books. So
I'm just looking at some of the eBay prices.
You don't want to. They make
7.0.
Yeah.
$700,000.
Yeah, exactly. Did I get all the last Ronin books? Yes, I did, Larry. It was sad. I don't know if they'll ever do a movie. I could see a live action miniseries on Paramount Plus because I think the Nickelodeon has it, or even like a greater cartoon. It might be like do it in that kind of art style as an animated film or an animated 2-part series. I think that's kind of cool. So Gatsu, what up, Geekz? Love the show. Thanks. Not sure if you guys saw, but I posted the sideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did see it. I loved it. I actually
right next to his black suit Spider-Man.
I know. I got my black suit right there. I'm looking at the smaller caps I have on this wall, and I've been contemplating if I need to flip those two into that bigger one because that sideshow one is really nice. It is really. I saw it in person at one of the stores. They had it listed. They had it for $7.75, which is more than Sideshow. So I'd probably just order it through Sideshow, but it was really nice. Unless they gave me good store credit for these, I don't know. We'll see. But I found a bunch of the stores I went to today, like they buy stuff. So I'm gonna start like going through my collections and my comics and stuff like that, and kind of
thin the herd so you can get another bigger piece.
Exactly. And that's what we were talking about, because one of the places had a comic I could not pull the trigger on, and it was Silver Surfer #4, and I have the statues for it. It's the Silver Surfer and Thor with the Rainbow Bridge, and it was a 4.0 for $700, which is the right price. That is the right price. That book in a $9,800 to $10,000 book, depending on at what time of the year it is. Comic books are dropping in price now because of
everything,
where the economy is. Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to like play smart. But that book, I'm like, that's the book I was thinking today. I'm like, I need to go home and I need to grab a bunch of shit and flip it right now because I want that book. That book, because I have the 2 statues. Put the book right behind those 2 statues. Put a light on it and be like, there's Silver Surfer and Thor. Like, it's beautiful. I love that. I've always loved that cover. But he also pre-ordered the Battle Damage Mythos Vader figure statue that's coming out. That thing is awesome too. That thing is huge and awesome. So
very nice.
Congratulations, man. Get them big statues. Fernando got the Sideshow Ahsoka. I saw that as well. Very, very nice. Very nice Ahsoka piece. Yeah, it's just I'm thinking the same. Like I need to thin the herd. I just need a couple big pieces, and that's it.
I'm not at the thinning the herd stage, but like if I could sell things to get a better version of something, that might be something. But
I'm still willing to buy your Moon Knight, so we'll talk about it. Although that price has gone way down.
I'm sure it has. I should have sold it right before the show.
Sold that shit, because that book was going, and the grade you had it easily. What you probably could have pulled out $100, $150 for it. Now you're at 50 at best.
The whole set of 10. How much would that get me?
Not much, because I think it's 11 and 13 are the big hitters. So 1 through 10, not much. So,
well, shit.
It's Fernando's first and last Sideshow piece. I get it, man.
So far, Robin was mine, first and last. I haven't gotten one since.
It gets exciting.
And that was a lower lower cost one for sure.
Playing that game gets expensive. So, anybody else get a toy box out there that they want to share? Share your toy boxes. We'll talk about them. But yeah, I really do think like I need to thin the herd here. Even with my comics, I'm going to go through them. The ones that I definitely don't want, definite non-keys, especially if it was just I got it because of the covers. Start just pushing those out. Get the ones I want graded. I'm gonna make a big submission to CGC. I'm contemplating because I ordered more of the acrylic shelves to go all the way across and finish that wall. And then I'm thinking if I move that Spider-Man poster, because I have all the Spider-Man. I have my 3 Spider-Man movie posters from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies all in my stairway up the stairs. Mm-hmm. So I have room for one more. I might move that there and then just keep making like going acrylic shelves with more CGC books. And then like I said, like I will flip those into better books, into books that I want to keep long term or that have some either value for me or value for for the future. Because like even if I get Amazing Fantasy 15, like I'm not going to be buried with it. It would be like, all right, like once it hits a certain number, it's like I got to get rid of this thing because it's just, it just keeps going up. The craziest, there was a crazy thing I was reading, and it was like a really low grade first Superman. It was Action Comics #1. Like I think it was like a 3 or 4.0. Like when me and my wife got married, I think it was 2004. One sold for $20,000, $25,000, right around there. That same 4.0 sold recently for $1 million. So if I would have taken like all like our startup money and everything and just try to flush it into
but you wouldn't have held it for all this time. You would not have held it for all this time.
And that is my problem. I agree. The same. I definitely agree. I mean, that's.
You would have had that book for like 5 years and been like, "Ooh, shit, we're gonna make like 25 grand on this. Ship it out.
Peace. I need a car. Peace." So, let's see. He got rid of all his comics for the Cap statue. Only real gem was his first appearance of Deadpool. But it was in poor condition, like less than a 5, and he still gave him $209 towards it. Hey, that's pretty good. I mean, that book, 5.0, $200 is probably the right number. He's probably gonna be able to sell for $3, depending on. So, Mad Love first print last week. He picked up. That's a good book too, Fernando. But if you could find that damn Batman Avengers first Harley Quinn, that's a big one to get. Is there validity to the Howard Stern rumors? Please say no. I have no idea. I heard him talking about it.
You heard who his VP is going to be?
Who?
His running mate, Bradley Cooper.
No, it wasn't that. It was him doing Dr. Doom.
Oh. I thought it was the thing where Howard Stern said he was going to run for president.
No,
was going to be Bradley Cooper.
He cut to commercial and they didn't go off air. And they were talking about Dr. Doom, and he said something about talking to Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige, like he has some kind of involvement with it, supposedly. That's what came out of this.
Oh.
Some people were speculating that he's playing Dr. Doom, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that's happening.
Oh no. That would be a bad decision.
Could he be writing part of it? Maybe. Could he have some producer credit for it? Maybe. I mean, he knows all of the players over there, so I mean, maybe he got involved. Maybe he's a big Doom fan. I have no idea. I do not think he is Dr. Doom. Definitely not. Please God, no. LOL. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're not doing that, especially if they're going younger, which I think that's what the plan is for that, because I don't think Krasinski is coming back to be Reed. I think.
No, you don't think so?
I don't know. The more and more I keep reading about it, the more and more I'm thinking that they're going a different direction. Sam Raimi came out in an interview saying that this was fan cast for fan cast's sake, because it's multiverse and they could just move it. They could just do it and not look back, like appease the fans. It's for the fans, and then just move on.
I feel bad for the poor asshole they cast as Reed Richards because no one's gonna like him.
Well, maybe not. You never know. I mean, if he does a good job, I think it's not going to matter. But I mean, the other thing too is does John want to do it? Does he want to be Reed for a decade plus? Because that's what it's going to come down to. Maybe he doesn't. He's like from everything I've read, like he's into it, but he also loves the freedom he has now. His wife definitely doesn't want to be Sue Storm. So I don't know.
I guess it all depends on what age they're going to put the characters at, how they're going to do it. Are they going to do a flashback 60s Brady Bunch style thing that we've all been talking about, or are they going to do an updated origin where it's more current?
Yeah, I don't know. You see that fan video where it's Deadpool who killed Wanda? No. Deadpool comes through. So, it was, what was it? I can't remember what it's called, because when Reed came in Multiverse of Madness, he used Doom's portal
teleportation box or whatever.
And instead of him, it was Deadpool that jumped in, and then Deadpool was like sneaking behind Wanda when she was killing everybody, and then he just cut her head off. So it was pretty funny. Yes, we are watching The Boys. You missed it. We did just talk about it. We just talked about the big end, as my kids like to say, hang cliffer. With Soldier Boy and Homelander. So I'm intrigued on where that's going to go. So we'll see.
Well, that's definitely a departure from the books.
Oh yeah,
there's never a thing there. So
nope. So. All right, so I think it's time. We go into spoilers for Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2.
Volume 2.
So everyone, we are going to spoil the end of Stranger Things, the 4-hour finale, because that's what it was. I don't care about what they did here, what they did. It's 4 hours. That's it. I don't care that they did the credits in between at some point.
It literally just goes scene, credits, opening, scene. Boom,
exactly.
Boom,
that's it.
It was 2 movies we got to watch.
So we'll give our rating and high level review of it before we go into detailed spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, you can hear what we think about it, and just high level, like what you thought. So Steve,
well, it's a hero. It's still, to me, is one of the best shows on TV for a lot of reasons. Like, it's hard to compare it to certain other shows for sure. It's got its own feel and stuff, but every episode is undeniably Stranger Things. Like, it doesn't matter how old people get. It doesn't matter how many years it goes by. Like, every episode, no episode felt off. There was only that one episode where 11 went to hang out with 8.
Yeah.
On that one stand apart episode in season 2, I think it was. Like, that was the only episode for me in the whole series that felt like out of place, just because they didn't check in with any other people during that whole episode. It was just that one thing. But this season just did great there. And I love the musical choices especially in the finale with Journey, and what they did with Kate Bush song at the very end was just, and it was an emotional roller coaster, man. I'm getting old and pabby, and boy, oh boy, there was quite a few times in that last episode where the whole eyes were leaking quite a bit.
I did not cry at all, but
oh man,
Mia was crying.
I mean, it wasn't like I was blubbering, but oof,
you were blubbering.
Got a little dusty. But
where's Mr. 1% is being asked? You missed it. Sean did not pay his internet bill. No, he's got a power outage he's dealing with, and the internet's down where he's at, so he cannot join us. So,
and that might be true.
Yeah. Or he's playing Xbox right now and sniping, because that's what he's, Sniper Elite, right? So.
Yeah.
Fernando did not skip the intro for episode 9.
No. I watched that intro every damn time. It's just fine.
My Jenny and the kids hate it when I hit skip the intro. They're like, "We want to hear it." I'm like, "Why does it matter? It's the same shit." It just says Millie Bobby Brown, Dave Arbor. Steve, I give it a hero as well. I just don't think they went far enough. I don't think they went. They teased it.
God, they almost went so far.
They didn't go far enough. They fucking Infinity Warded. This is what they did, and I knew it. Like after, because they gave everyone had so they Jeremy Rennered it because like, and, you know, he gave his speech. You know, people are giving speeches in this in episode 7, and you're like, that's your death speech. That's your death speech. That's your death speech.
God, there's so many death speeches in the show.
And everywhere it was like setting up everyone to die. And I'm like, and I'm watching this and I'm looking at Jenny and I'm telling the kids, I'm like, no, man, this is Infinity War Endgame. This is what they're doing here. This whole season was Infinity War. Next season is Endgame. That's what it's gonna happen here. That's it. That's how this is leading off. And especially when, you know, we'll get to it more in spoilers, but when Will had his big talk with Mike and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, like, at that point I'm like, they're not gonna go far enough. They're not gonna give me the body count I want or the body count I care about. I mean, there was a body count. But it wasn't. They didn't thin the herd here like we were anticipating. So, but it's a hero. It's still a hero. It's still a great show.
Good.
Millie Bobby Brown deserves an Emmy for episode 7, like, and 8. Like, holy crap! Like,
the Papa episode for sure. That was
Papa. That's what it was. The Papa episode was it. That was 7, right? Yeah.
No, it was 8.
No, it was 8. It was 8 and 9. I'm sorry. It was 8. Yeah. The Papa episode. Emmy. Like, you don't win one. I don't know anything. So, Larry, I thought it was going to be the goat levels of death. Larry, that's what
Game
I
of
thought.
Thrones.
I know. Game of Thrones.
You don't know shit about Game of Thrones.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Yes. Lucas was, I mean, especially in episode 9, Lucas gets his Emmy for episode 9. Like, that's where it was.
Even Max did great.
Max did great too, and we'll talk about it in spoilers. So let's go right here. I'm gonna clap. We're in spoilers. Spoil. Steve, I loved Eddie, but man, I knew his ass was
as soon as he said we're not heroes. Obviously, no. I was like,
It's not even that point. You know when it was? Is when he was like wrestling with Dustin, and they're like, "Oh, don't ever change. You promised me you don't ever change." I'm like, "You're dead." I was like right there, you're killing Eddie. Like, that's it. Like,
still didn't. Even though you knew it was coming, it still didn't stop the hurt when it happened. Because I'll tell you this. Little Dustin acted his ass off too in that scene.
He did. Yeah.
God, when the camera panned back and he gave that little whimper cry, I was crushed. I was crushed for that boy. I was just like,
For Fernando.
No!
Fernando hated Papa. Everybody hated Papa.
Papa went out like a boss, though, in a way. Like, he did take all those sniper shots, but then he tried to still be shitty. He was like,
Yeah, he wanted forgiveness. I was like, get the hell out of here. Get out of here. The ending for Stranger Things had me mentally. It did. It was a tough. Hopper totally had all the death flags raised. Yep, I agree.
He did, but after them killing him at the season finale of last season, then bringing him back immediately, it's too convenient to do it again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't thin the herd. Like, you had 3.
Murray. I had Murray. Murray could have gone.
I really thought, like, after Murray went with the flamethrower, taking
something
all
behind him.
Boom! Like, taking him off the thing, and then that's where Hopper kills the last one, and then they have their Murray.
How badass was it though? When Hopper just looks to the ground, there's this giant fucking medieval sword for some reason right there. And he's just like, whoosh. I was like, holy shit.
Is he trying to make up for Hellboy? Like, what is happening here?
Oh, that was awesome. That was great.
It was good. But again, that's the thing. So you have 3 technically in this thing, 4 separate groupings out doing their thing, right? I mean, this is where I was like, this is where this is Infinity War, because like you had the team split. So now you have to have some main characters dusted. Like that's what it is. You could, and they kind of do it in this, but only one. And that's where I was just like, you played it too safe.
I just want to talk a little bit about like, I like the whole Nina stuff. I loved Paul Reiser here.
Where the hell did they get that sword from? I agree.
It was just laying there. It's just so like, if it had been in front of the other season, or the other season, I was reading the damn comment. If it had been in front of the other cell right to the side, like he would have been screwed. But it was just sitting right at his feet. It was all sharp and ready to go. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man. Thought it was the Legend of Zelda Master Sword. All of a sudden he starts shooting out with it. That'd been hilarious.
I liked Paul Reiser though. I thought his character was but he was always good. Like he came in as a replacement in season 2, and he was just like he was helping Bob trying to so bad. Like,
and he still was good. Like, I like that. I like that he didn't turn on 11, and like it was Papa that locked him up. I like that he's not dead.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been an easy death.
Too easy for the Colonel just to walk in there and
just pop him, right? Because now he's going to have to be used, because they're going to need to have somebody understand why the damn gate is open. This entire town is in the upside down.
You know what I hated in the episode of Papa in episode 8 was when 11 showed her powers, and she like raised that tank up and down, but like it's on rails, so it's just like slowly up and then down.
Crushed it.
And it took like 4 minutes. I'm like, this is why this shit's an hour and a half, because it's 4 minutes of this slowly going up the rails. Like it doesn't like, it looked too real. It looked like when you wave your hand at the grocery store and the door opens and you're like, I have the force, It looked like that kind of shit.
So the question is, has Vecna been behind this thing the entire time? Is he essentially like he's controlling the Mind Flayer? He merged with the Mind Flayer because he is a powerful psychic, has powers like 11, and the Mind Flayer is always was there. 11 opened the gate and pushed him through, and then he was able to merge with the Mind Flayer.
Yeah,
so I think the Mind Flayer and him essentially are
the same.
One.
Yeah, so when Will was hearing the Mind Flayer in season 2, that was Vecna talking.
Yeah, I think, and just like the Demogorgons and everything, because you see them, throughout, they're all minions. Even the Mind Flayer, it's Vecna. Vecna is Thanos here. That's why I keep going back to Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, because this is all very, very similar. Probably why they're getting tagged by Feige to do something with Ghost Rider. I mean, it's all in there. Nancy getting her Ripley moment with the shotgun to Vecna, yeah. But again, I knew they fucked it up, man. Like the minute they threw the Molotov cocktails on Vecna, I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, stop doing that. That's not how you kill him. Oh, you know what else, Steve? This is okay. So this is Infinity War, and this is
it was hurting him.
This is an Infinity War Endgame, and merged with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Because again, split up doing multiple things. We're gonna weaken Freddy Krueger over here. We're gonna weaken Freddy Krueger over here. Like they need to work on a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. But that was yes.
I did like all the layers though. Like all the layers of stuff was really awesome. Like they had to go into the Upside Down to go into Vecna's house, but Vecna was, he was possessed and off in Max's brain, but then 11 was in Max's brain, and like it was just, there was so many different layers of stuff. And I'm super happy they gave Argyle something. Because, like, what was the point of Argyle for the whole show? But except for the fact that he works for Surfer Boys Pizza, and that's how they were able to make the fucking deprivation tank while they were in fucking
It's crazy how
Nevada.
Super smart dude too. I love it. He's like, how many pounds? Oh, we need this much salt, and I know where to go to get that. And he pulls up the Surfer Boy pizza.
I didn't like the other Nevada version of
the Surfer
Argyle.
Boy.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah, it was crazy to see how Vecna changed the Upside Down, because that's to say that it was peaceful, but like there were all these monsters there already, but like he just turned it into like a full hellscape. But like you said, like it's like multiple layers, because it's like we see the Upside Down, but then we see like Vecna's house, and we see like the differences, and it's like they're all in different areas, and it's crazy. So what do you think about Eddie's guitar solo? Like,
well, I mean, it's Master of Puppets, man. Come on, it was so good. And there was all kinds of shit going on during that.
I was just like, oh man, you knew he was going out now. Like, you're going out like a boss.
You're like 30 seconds, and he fucking just breaks out into the guitar solo. I was like, oh no,
you're gonna die. Yeah, definitely 11 was hardcore with Vecna and Max. And the basketball player, man, like just again, yeah, there's body count, but like it's meaningless. Like, okay.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, his death was kind of cool when the door opened up and it just sucked him, broke him right in half.
Yeah.
He was such a piece of shit. Anyways, I didn't understand how the basketball crew shrunk so much. They were at that ammo store, which did they go in there with $12,000? Like, how'd they leave with all that shit? But like,
I don't think everybody was gearing up. Those were rich kids, man, back in the day, and the guns were cheap. Indiana.
He stole someone's house to get there.
Yeah, they stole the RV. Like,
I didn't understand why Eddie even asked for a mask when nobody else was wearing a mask, and they were all right next to him.
Because everybody's looking for Eddie. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie needed to cover himself up, because if he's spotted, like, I don't think the whole town was though. Yeah, nice Halloween throwback. Her mask from Halloween, which was definitely good. He's not even a metal guy, but he was hyped for that scene. Same, yeah. How did Dustin know the bats were 30 seconds away just looking at them? Because Dustin's a genius. That's it. He's got his thinking cap on. Like, he just knows everything. Like,
they've studied the speed and trajectory and the airflow of the Upside Down and the devil bats that they've seen one time before.
He just knew. He's
those bats were slow as shit. Eddie got to fucking jump on him on the bike and held them off for quite a long time. So
I know. I just don't understand why Eddie stopped. I get the mode. Like, he doesn't want to keep running, but like he should have gone to the house, like at that point, or go somewhere else. Like, go help the other.
Go to any other house and shut the door. Go.
Yeah,
like you're not running from a problem. You're here helping solve the problem. You're just running away from monsters, winged hellbats,
thousands of winged
that are going to eat you.
That you're going to fight with a shield and a knife, like a knife on a stick, like, and the shield with. It was a cool scene where he stood there and he took them, Captain America style, like he's taking the brunt force of the hit. But come on, man, like that, I was just so like disappointed, and like even like his death like scene, like it was sad, but it's like I wanted it to be bigger, like especially for that character, especially that motive. Like it's just like the bats kind of twirled away, and then he just kind of was laying there like covered in blood. And, like,
as I was saying earlier on the show, my daughter, her birthday, she got the kitten, named it Eddie because that was her favorite character on Stranger Things now.
Yep.
And she stayed up to watched it all night or whatever. As I was getting ready to leave for work, she came down and her eyes were all red and puffy, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch, Eddie died. I knew it all day before I even saw. I didn't read anything, but I was just like, oh, she wouldn't cry like that if it wasn't for that. No.
What Eddie did to die didn't help her change anything. Exactly, Scott. I agree, and that's my problem here. Is like, yes, it was. I think Steve, for a second, I thought you froze. I think it was heroic because he was trying to save Dustin. Like he moved the bed and everything. Like he didn't want Dustin to get it.
But he had to draw them away from the house. They were going to get in, and they were just going to go through the fucking portal and into Hawkins. So he was drawing them away from Dustin, yes, and the town. He was drawing them away from everybody. If they would have gotten through that motorhome, they would have been in through the doorway.
But could they have gone through the doorway? Because the doorway was always open. Like he was there. Like they
but
could
the
have
bats
gone
were,
at any
but
point.
they could have. But they
I don't
were
know if
never
they could have
around
gone through officially yet. I mean, I guess you're right. Maybe because Demogorgons already felt.
Well, they dropped a sheet through it. I mean, and they went through it several times.
I kind of agree here. Another one. I felt like they forced his death. I didn't buy the "I'm going to buy more time" BS. He didn't need to buy more time. They just needed an excuse to kill him. Again, it should have been a bigger kill. That's what I'm saying here. Like that's where I'm disappointed. He shouldn't have died by bats. He should have died stepping in to Vecna or something like that. Like Billy's death in the last season. That was a big kill, especially for a character like Billy, because we never liked Billy. I mean, I know you did because he was the Red Ranger, but we never liked Billy. Billy stood in, took out the Mind Flare, bought them the time. That's what he did. Billy took the death.
Yeah, he had a redemption arc, a redemption moment.
But Eddie, like, it just felt like
Eddie was never a bad guy. He was always relatively good.
He was a good guy who was a scaredy cat. Fine, he stepped up, but like it was just the bats. It should have been something bigger. And I guess like to me, like looking at where we're going here, kind of like I look at Will's painting, that we finally got to see, and them finding like the 3-headed dog monster kind of thing, and I'm like, that thing should have showed up, and that's what Eddie should have gone against. Like maybe that's what it would have been, like the bats, and then some kind of big serpent monster that they have awakened. Something else. I just don't think the bats to me like was worthy enough for Eddie's death. That's
so the only thing maybe would be if like Vecna was fighting back against Robin, Steve, and Nancy, and had them all on the ground, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, here comes Eddie with his fucking shield and his spear.
Something like that, yeah.
And then there's a tussle.
He gets a hit on Vecna, yeah, and then Vecna has to go, then disappears to go fight 11. Kind of like a Nightmare 3 thing. Remember where they're fighting Freddy, and then he goes in the graveyard, and then he's out, and Steve's got the dogs joining him for some good times. Don't worry about it, Steve. Let the dogs play. But yeah, I just think it was just kind of a weird moment. Yeah, Billy was a scumbag, but he got a bigger moment than Eddie. Again, agree. That's my problem with Eddie's death. Eddie was the big death here, and it wasn't a big death. Steve and Robin and Nancy all got sidelined. They got sidelined. They got choked up in the house, and they were gone for an hour plus of that episode. There's no reasoning for them. But again, this is the end game thing here. They brought in some new characters. They kept some, the established ones that they've brought in from last season. And then they dusted Max in a sense, because now Max is in a coma.
Yo, when her arms and legs started snapping and she started bleeding from the eyes, I was...
Nope, she's dead. She's gone. Yeah,
that was it.
She's not.
Damn.
11
she
brought
did
her back.
die.
Well, she died. Yeah, and then
she
11
died with Superman cellophane powers.
Yeah.
Now I can bring people back from death.
Well, but she didn't bring her all the way back, so we don't know. I mean, Max. I don't know. I guess maybe if they weren't gonna kill her, don't twist the damn limbs. Don't go that far. You know what I mean? Because like you said, like I didn't like that 11 was able to bring her back or whatever. But the other thing too is 11 tried to go find her when she was touching her and couldn't find her. So who knows? Maybe she is.
I did love how everybody was being beaten, and then Mike gave his little speech to 11, and that kind of spurred everything to,
because he's the heart. He's the again. Yeah, it was yes. Like Mike again. Mike should have died. Like every like here's what in my view, they should have killed one person from each of the groupings somehow, some way.
And you would have taken Mike?
I would have taken Mike's ass. Get his ass out of here. Like I'm so sick of him. And then him and Hopper at the end. You grew. You got whatever. You got small. Blah. Yeah, I was so just
not a fan, huh?
No, I wasn't. And Nancy and Jonathan's reunion, like, blah, get out of here. Killed Jonathan too. Like that's not enough death, not enough carnage. Yes, I know the whole town is separated. This whole giant hole in southern Indiana. and a gate's open, but not
an earthquake that shot vines up buildings and all kinds of random shit.
It wasn't enough for this grouping. Like this whole group, like I don't know, the scene between Will and his brother was touching. It was, and that's the thing. Again, that is another reason why I thought one of those two were gonna die. Because it's like you could always be with me. I will always be there for you. We're brothers. We don't talk anymore, but now we love each other. You kill one of them. Like if you're setting this whole thing up,
you're fucking heartless.
No,
they're heartless. People are gonna die in season 5 a little. They're gonna have to.
I think it's gonna be 11. 11's gonna have to die to close the gate. That's it. 11's dying. There's no way 11 and Mike get a happy ending. It's just not gonna work. Ava will be pissed if Millie Bobby Brown dies because that's Ava's all about Millie Bobby Brown. But I just think it has to happen. Mike was talking to 11, and then Will stops him to tell him not to stop and keep talking. That is true. Nancy and Steve would be better, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's how it's going to end because I don't think Jonathan can go away. Steve can get to work on making his nuggets. Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. Steve had a death thing. I wanted a family, 6 kids in this RV, and you were going to be with me. And now Steve dies. And not to say that Steve should have died because I didn't want Steve to die.
No, he's like the best character.
Well, exactly. Just like when I was saying with the Umbrella Academy, it's like Klaus and 5, and for me here, it's like again, I love 11 because I think like her character is developed well. Dustin is fantastic, and Steve is fantastic. You can't kill like that trio. Has to stay.
I loved how Dustin was with the big kids finally.
Yeah, I know. He's finally getting a fight in the Upside Down.
He didn't hesitate either when those bats started coming through the vent. He was just like, just stabbing him in the face. Like
again,
Dustin's a little badass, dude.
Like, yeah, Dustin and Steve. Like, there's your spinoff show. Let them go on a Scooby-Doo adventures in a fucking van themselves. They don't need nuggets.
I'll watch that shit. They just have a different adventure of the week.
Like 80s X-Files. Like they're going around like looking up crazy shit, and Steve's like, "This isn't real," and Dustin's like, "No, this is how it happens." And then it's like, but you don't realize we've just like been to hell basically.
And you could have Susie. You could have Susie via CB radio giving him information and shit.
Exactly.
like American Pickers. Exactly. When they call, "Oh, you're on your way to this next thing. I found something for you, Dusty Buns."
There you go. Perfect. We just wrote the spinoff show because they're talking about a spinoff show for Stranger Things.
God damn it. If they don't do that, they're wasting their time. They're wasting my fucking time.
Dustin and Steve going around solving mysteries in the mystery machine. That's it. They keep that RV. That RV is theirs now. They live on it.
It's been a long time since I wanted something as much as I want that show.
They have to go find new people with powers to help them because 11's dead because she closed the final gate.
They're gonna be looking for 2 through 10.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like Max died, so that's why the gate was able to be opened. Because remember, he needed 4 because of the 4 chimes, 4 deaths, blah blah. But she brought her back. But it's like, how are you gonna bring her back, man? Like she's not coming back full.
All he needed was 4 people. Like that's it. Like why'd you even fuck with that group? That group's been nothing but problems for you since the get-go. And you pick like a core member and you're like, that's gonna be my 4th. Like the hubris on you. God damn it. Like
Vecna kept Nancy alive just to go tell 11 what the fuck I'm doing.
He had her dead to nuts. Here's my 4th door. Now I can do my plan. No, he wanted a monologue.
Exactly, just like every villain. It was actually perfect though. Like it was perfect. I was like, yeah. But that whole part with Nancy, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, 100%.
Minute the lights go out, then she's tied up, and I'm like, this is Freddy talking shit now, and he does his thing, and I'm like, oh, this is
well, and it's the same with Max in the attic with Dustin, when Lucas starts giving her the business, and you're like, that's not Lucas, but that's a fucking Freddy move.
Yeah.
Where he would just be somebody else for a little bit and you didn't know it was a dream. And then poof, now it's Freddy.
Yep. Agreed. Again, these guys need to branch out. I love their Stranger Things. They need to get into Ghost Rider. Give me some Ghost Rider going because you got to work with Marvel, and then you need to reboot Nightmare.
Lucas, though, he was fighting in the attic, and through some plot convenience, found the strength.
He should have died.
He hit that basketball kid like twice, and that kid was out. And it's like, you've been getting your ass kicked for the last 15 minutes. Just punched all up and down this whole attic. You give him 2, I give him a 1-2, and he's done. Like, man, that kid was soft.
I don't know, man. You saw Lucas's face afterwards. He got beat the hell out of too. So
yeah, and when his buddy tackled Erica, I was like, damn, that was a heavy ass tackle.
I know, and he was gonna break her arm. I'm like, dude, these kids are psychotic, man. What is going on? This is an 11-year-old girl. You just got her in an arm lock, and you're gonna break her arm.
He like launched his entire body at full speed to tackle her, took her ass down. I was like, oh, god damn.
Fernando, the music drops were amazing. It was the music. This whole, I mean, I think that's the thing.
Separate Ways, or whatever, by Journey. They did like that epic version of it when they were riding in the RV. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I told you guys the RV wasn't anybody's death. You guys were sold.
I was sold.
And I'm like, no, because it was them gearing up. It was them mentally gearing up because they had to drop off the one group and then they were going to the Upside Down. It was perfect. I'm like, right when I saw that, I'm like, fuck Sean and Steve, man. I was right.
Why do you always revert to fuck us? Man, I can honestly say it. There hasn't been any times while watching something I'm like, you know what? Fuck a Lil. Just
lies.
Ever. No, that is lies because there have been some movies on 31 Days that you've picked where I'm like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Lies.
Fuck a Lil. Come on.
No, man, but I mean, again.
And you know what's funny is they said that they were alluding to, or they'd given some information in an interview where they said there might be like some sort of a time jump between season 4 and season 5.
I know.
That's the thing. At the end of the season, I'm like, how the fuck do you do a time jump? That's a fucking problem that needs to be solved yesterday.
Now. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it was funny because me and the kids, we were out comic hunting today. And we were talking the whole car, blah, the kids are blah, blah, Stranger Things stuff. But that's what we're talking about. I'm like, how first is they kept talking about like there's gonna be like 5 major deaths. I'm like, no, we got Papa and we got the basketball kid and 50% of Max. Like, so like, and Eddie. So 3.5 deaths from characters, that
22 deaths a little in the town.
I get the town, but like it's
lots of Russian people died in this finale.
Yeah, but it wasn't Enzo or I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like it was like.
And what happened to Enzo and Yuri? Where'd they go?
Well, they're not coming. They're not getting to stay here. Like
why not? Enzo should.
With 50% of the government that likes them, because the other 50% of the government's trying to murder that part of the government. Like these, like it's very like.
Oh, the government is really weird too. Like when the military came to the test site in Nevada and they were shooting military police, it's just like what.
Exactly. It's like, well, this military police is with the doctor. This military police is against it. Like it's just. But that's the thing. So this. As we were saying, like, how are you time jumping this? They better be filming right now, because these kids are going to keep getting older. Nancy's giant head on her popsicle stick body is going to get out of control. Like she's like her head is huge compared to like she's a really tiny person.
Well, now that Will's 2 feet taller than Jonathan and has grandkids, it's like son of a bitch, like. How are you gonna keep?
He voted for Reagan at this point.
You're gonna tell me he's fucking. He's still a freshman in high school, and even 11 and Mike, like everybody's just so much bigger. The only person that still looks somewhat young is Dustin because he's got the braces, but that's all fake too. So.
Oh, Fran was right. That Black Cloud Gate thing is still open in Russia because they still have their side open. They still have part of theirs. So, I mean, who knows, like, who knows, like, what next season, like, how big this gate is going to be. Is it just going to be Hawkins? Is it going to be, like, in Russia? Is it going to be from Hawkins all the way through to Russia? Like, did he open up, like, this whole thing? I don't know, but you're right. Like, you can't time jump this. This has to, especially when you saw the ash, whatever you want to call it, start falling and, like, everybody coming out. There's no hiding this anymore. There's no fake mall fire and stuff. Like, they see this as hell, right? They can look inside the giant cracks and, like, start seeing, like, brimstone and fire.
Oh, and monsters.
Yeah. Monsters shooting up out of it, Demogorgons flying around everybody. I did think that was funny. Like, all this, like, they're pulling in with the Surfer Boy van, and, like, the whole town is leaving. And I'm like, yeah, I'd be leaving too. Like, what the hell? Could a time jump be just a couple of years in the future? Like, what year? So this year was 86. So this was 1986. I don't know if they can go any further. Like, it wasn't like the end of 86 basketball season. Maybe it was 87. Like, by the time they get to gearing up, I don't know. Calling BS Steve every time you watch Eternals, you probably say F a little. Very, very true. Plot twist: Putin comes through the USSR gate.
He's like
maybe he does, Larry. Maybe
he's like
on his horse.
He's like
shirtless.
14.
No, he's the same age. He's the same age as he is now because he's like living off of Demogorgon blood or something over there. That's
shirtless on his white horse. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's got to. They can't time jump it far. Like, that's the thing. They have to start. I don't know when they're starting film, but they can't because, like, they're living in the Upside Down now. So, like, what are they gonna like? We're gonna catch up with them 2 years later while they're.
Well,
just,
it seemed to me like that Max died, and so the gates opened, but then 11 brought her back, so she's in a coma. So then they didn't necessarily close, but they went inactive.
They didn't stay all the way open. They're not all the way.
So what does the ash mean and the fucking clouds and all that? Does that mean Max just died in the hospital because, like, now everything's fucking here all of a sudden? Like, so the gates are open,
or maybe they're partially open. It's not fully open. Like, maybe Vecna can't come through yet.
Well, I mean, I guess like we saw like Demogorgon shit come through that little ass tiny gate in Hawkins. So a big ass one like that, you'd think.
Yeah, but maybe he can't because he's intertwined with the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Will said Vecna's hurt. He's got to heal himself up. He ain't ready for a fight right now. They did put the work on him. You know what I'm saying?
They did. Yeah, it lit him on fire and mined through him.
3 Molotov cocktails and a few rounds from a sawed off, and that'll do the business.
Maybe the time jump is 6 months. Yeah, I would say
it's like time jump 6 hours later.
Yeah, I mean, the most it could be would be like, if this was the basketball season in high school, is usually like in the close to winter time. It might end around Thanksgiving. So maybe it's 87. The winter of 87, something like that. But, like, it seemed like it was springtime when they were fixing up Hopper's house. So I don't know. I don't know, But yeah, I mean, seeing like all the people looking for their families and stuff, that it was sad because they said 22, but they said it could be more. There's tons missing, So I mean, like, who knows? It's gonna be an interesting season 5. And I do wonder if they're going to split this up again, as they did.
Of course. They crashed Netflix on Friday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to split it up. They might even do 2 splits, double down on it.
You think we're going to get 14 plus hours again like we did this time? I mean, how many hours was this?
I don't see how we can't. I don't see how they're just going to go back to like 8 40-minute episodes. And call it a day. Like, it ain't gonna work now. They set the bar too high now. Now you got too much to do.
Yeah, now we need 10 2.5 hour episodes. So this is gonna be 25 hours long. Start filming today.
I don't know. Like, let's see if they've even announced when the production date starts for Stranger Things season 5.
A huge hole in the roof of the house, and Nancy grabs cleaning supplies. Very true. Very true. But sweep up the floor before you fix the hole where more debris can fall through. Come on, Scott. You got to sweep up the floor first and wipe all the counters. And then fix the hole and board up the windows. Yeah.
Oh, they're saying 2024.
So we're a year and a half away. 2024 to start or 2024 for the release?
For the release. If that's the case, they're going to have to be on that shit quick.
Yeah. I mean, they got to start filming soon. It's going to start filming within the next 3 to 4 months because there's going to be a lot of special effects for this one, especially. I won't lie. I would have watched these last 2 episodes in the theater if given a chance. I agree. I think Netflix might have to start releasing like these out in theaters again as well. Outdated cleaning supplies as well. None of it's working. There's
no electricity. They're like, we'll fix it up. Like with what? Like you have a broken.
The water's running. Come on, you check the water.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
No, it's but it was good. It was good seeing Joyce.
I felt so bad though. Like Will's like, can I show you this? And he opens it up, and I was like, oh, that sucks.
Oh, the art.
It's like, oh, it's terrible. It looks like a
I know it was
child drew this,
but it was disappointing too, especially because like when Will was drawing in the earlier season, like it was like drawing the future, seeing things like seeing that 3-headed dog thing with all the
dragon.
Guys, or dragon.
There was D&D and like out of nowhere in their conversation, this 35-year-old Will turns around and he's like, we could play Nintendo and play D&D all day long for the rest of our lives. And I was just like, sounds so weird coming from like an older uncle.
But this is what I want to do. I'm doing that right now. I'm not playing D&D, but I'm playing Nintendo for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but he was talking about not working and just doing that and no girls allowed.
Yeah, but
it was so childish and out of character for the for the moment.
Sounds good to me right now. You got your man cave right there. We'll just move in right there. Start playing games all day. Start playing. Forget everything else. Just start playing some games. Eat some pumpkin seeds.
And then after the 3rd week, when my electricity gets turned off because I'm not going to work. Then it all come crashing down.
We'll put up a solar panel, Steve. Free electricity.
Yeah, I'll just go buy one from the Home Depot, slap it on the wall.
Money left.
Plug it in.
Yeah.
No problem.
You live off the grid, Steve.
I'm not going to do that. So, overall rating for season 4 is 0. Yeah.
Heroes for us. Overall rating for season 4 is 0.
There has not been a season that I have not liked.
Just one episode. And again, see if I agree with you. The episode that L.
But like that wasn't even a bad episode. Chicago.
No, it was just felt out of place.
Well, every show has they do a really good job of going into everybody's story. All the groups, they touch on everybody. And in that episode, they just didn't do that. And there was a lot of shit going on in Hawkins. I was like, well, what's going on over there? Get back to it.
Yeah. So all right. Well, there you go. Stranger Things. Now we gotta wait 2 freaking years before we get it again. So
very true. It'll be a long haul before we see the old Hawkins crew back. But I did think that that like Hopper looked great. He lost a lot of weight too.
He did.
David Harbour looked good.
So all right. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for chiming in. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it. If you like this, if you want us to do more live shows, subscribe, comment, keep getting involved. We're gonna try to be better at getting on time. Just tough at times, but we'll hopefully do this again next week, and we'll be talking about Thor: Love and Thunder next week.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have to go to the theater.
Gotta go to the theater. So good night, guys. This is Lil. I have to sign off.
This is Steve, and until next week, everybody, keep it geeky. I didn't know what the fuck you were doing.